What's going on, everybody? It's going to the latest news, and if you're new here, make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe. We're gonna get into AEW Blood and Guts, and a chair shot heard around the world. Man, Blood and Guts was Dynamite was a great, pay per view. The Blood and Guts match was the highlight of the night. They guys went crazy in that match. Man, they went. That was definitely a highlight of the night. We had a couple of other highlights of the night. We had Will Ospreay, you know, challenging MJF for the international champion, which is also called the U.S. International champion, or whatever it's called. MJF done changed the title up and everything like that. So those guys is going for that rematch at All In. So that's set up for another great match because them guys a whole hour had a great match. I had no complaints with them guys playing. So I can't wait to see how they tear it up this time around when they rematch. What they gonna go for? But are they gonna go for another 60 minutes? I mean, I want mine. You know what I mean? But I mean, I doubt they have them go for another 60. Maybe 30. I feel like they should go for 30. I mean, they probably end up going for 30, maybe 20, 25 minutes because it is other matches on the card. And AEW Tony Khan he usually have like about 8, 12 matches on pay per view. Which would be great matches, but I'm not gonna lie, be kind of hard to keep up with. For me, it's hard to keep up with the wrestlers' names at times, especially like the international wrestlers. And that's no disrespect to them. Them guys is very talented, but besides Okada and I mean, those are the only names I can really keep up with. The guy that fought Chris Jericho, they had a great match. I'm not gonna lie. They had a great match. Chris Jericho's chest was bloody as hell, man. Them chops was crazy. Can we please give Chris Jericho his flowers? You know what I mean? Like for the work he's been putting in. You know what I mean? Chris Jericho been putting work in for AEW, man, and he just I don't know, man. He's just not showing no signs of slowing down on Chris Jericho. But I know Chris Jericho will wanna in his career in WWE some way somehow. I don't see him. I mean, I could see him. I could see him finishing up his career in AEW because AEW has been very good to Chris Jericho. But I mean, let's face it, man. He started in WCW slash WWE, and you know, with him, he gonna have to go into the Hall of Fame at some point in WWE. It's just that's a no brainer. Chris Jericho have to go in that WWE Hall of Fame somewhere down the line. So even if he does, stay with AEW or decide he want to retire AEW, WWE should definitely pick up that phone in a year or two. After he's done with AEW and definitely put him in that Hall of Fame. But I mean, who's to say he's going to be done? I'm just saying if he is done with AEW somewhere down the line, maybe in the next 2 to 3 years, WWE definitely got to put Chris Jericho in that Hall of Fame. And technically, if you want to be technical, Chris Jericho may end up being like a two-time well, no, not unless they just keep his character in one. I mean, if you want to count WCW, because WCW is part of WWE, but they never did it like that anyway. It's either you in a faction and you're Hall of Fame, or you for Dolo in the Hall of Fame. I don't think Chris Jericho wasn't really in no factions like that to be a two-time Hall of Famer, but he definitely is well deserving of that Hall of Fame spot. So, but yeah, Blood and Guts is it was good, man. We had Tony Storm try to get her get back on Mariah Mays. It was a little short, little run in. Like I said, MJF and Will Ospreay had a good run in. MJF was the only one really cutting that promo tonight. Will Ospreay cut us in the back, but MJF cut his out in the ring. And Will Ospreay tried to get his get back on MJF, man. He was talking hella crap, man. And then, you know what I mean? So, he got his rematch, so it's all set up for All In. Like I said, the Blood and Guts, that match was crazy, man. Them guys was just doing things that I was just like, wow. But we jump into SmackDown. SmackDown wasn't really much the highlight there. I know Logan Paul and Knight had they run in because I know LA Knight was going against Santos Escobar. You know, they was having a little match, and then Logan Paul tried to intervene. Cody Rhodes, he cut a promo against like the bloodline and what he's been going through with the bloodline. Uh, then they had a gauntlet match that took over the whole night, you know, which we had Apollo Crews and Baron Corbin, you know, going against Phantasma, which they came out on top. Then they went against Pretty Deadly. They came out on top there. Then Street Profits came out, and then they came out on top of that team. So it was just, and then you know the last team was pretty much the Bloodline, and we already know how that turned out. Bloodline, like they're gonna end up winning those belts at SummerSlam without a question. It's just like who's gonna no, but they're not gonna make they're not gonna make them lose right now. Now unless somebody interfere and cost them that match. I'm hearing Jimmy in the air, you know, because he's been cleared from injury. So I'm not too sure how they gonna play this one out. Cause I know the Tribal Chief Rumble Brains is definitely making his way back at SummerSlam. Or I was saying maybe for SummerSlam. We only got one SmackDown left, so I don't think it's gonna be that. It could be, but Bloodline have been still, you know, taking over every weekend and week out, and a lot of people like me and everybody else is sick of it. Like we want to see something different, which is definitely coming. You know, like I said, I would say the Roman Reigns returned for SummerSlam, but if they bring him back this Friday, I won't be too mad either. But I would definitely say that for SummerSlam to bring the Tribal Chief Rumble Brains back. I don't know, but like I said, SmackDown, Bloodline has been pretty much taking over SmackDown week in and week out, and it's just the same old, same old. We want something different, man. But which, like I said, we will get it. We will get it. We get something different. Also, I was hearing that Pat McAfee may be on his way out, you know, because he got other things to handle, but. Man, I don't want to lose Pat McAfee again, man. Pat McAfee is what he makes Raw with Michael Cole, man. They make a great team, man. They make an awesome team. We had McAfee before. Then he left. You know, he had to do his thing, whatever respect. But then, you know, he's planning on possibly leaving again. But then I'm hearing he may still try to work the schedule. But, I mean, you don't want to work yourself on Pat McAfee. But, yeah. But it wasn't, like, really much to cover on SmackDown. I was hearing it was taped anyway. It wasn't even a live show. But it was, I guess, decent. But it's kind of like the same finish. We got the Bloodline that cut a promo that closed the night. It wasn't really much. SmackDown was boring. It was whack. I ain't gonna lie, you know, and it was like predictable. Besides Terrence Crawford knocking out my boy Austin Theory, man, from A-Town Down Under. You know, I mean Grayson Waller, man. I don't know. He been setting my boy set my boy up, man, for Austin Theory. He been selling him out, man. When Austin Theory gonna catch on to what was happening? He's so dumbfounded, but I guess that's what was making the story go on with those two. But they gonna end up breaking up. It's pretty obvious, which I don't know. It's not that really mean tag teams to be breaking up teams like that. You know, it's not really much strong teams there to be doing all that, you know. So I don't know, man. I don't really necessarily agree with it, but I do like the angle, where they going with the angle, I guess. But I don't know, man. Yeah, did you guys let me know what y'all thought about AEW Blood and Guts? What y'all feel like Raw gonna be out like tonight? I'm gonna get my review on that between Tuesday. I mean the next day. Oh yeah. Or Wednesday. No, I give it to Tuesday. Yeah, my Monday Night Raw review because I'm gonna check that out tonight. Because that's the last Monday Night Raw leading up into SummerSlam. So they gotta definitely not. Well, Raw been on point. I ain't gonna lie, Raw been on point. Like Monday Night Raw definitely been on point. It's just SmackDown. It's the same old, same old. Bloodline, bloodline, bloodline. You know, just taking over the show. Which I get it. They're trying to make them look strong. We all get it. Just until the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns make his way back, but that's a whole another different story because Roman Reigns got to get the troops back together before he think he gonna take on this new bloodline with Jacob Fatu and Tamaloa. And why they had Tamaloa selling that eye injury like that, just not have him in the match? We not stupid. Y'all ain't want him selling out there, so y'all made him fake an injury and replaced him. You know with. Man, whatever, man. I wasn't stupid, man. Y'all ain't want him hurting his average out there, but we get it. It's cool. It's cool. But yeah, you guys let me know what y'all thought about Blood and Guts and SmackDown is weak. SmackDown was weak. Blood and Guts is like we could definitely talk about that because that was a crazy night, man. But you guys let me know what y'all think. Like, share, comment, subscribe.